Welcome everybody. We're here today to talk about why we should incorporate Compex Muscle Stim into our rehabilitation and enhancing sporting performance. My name's Cliff Eaton. I'm a chartered physiotherapist. I work for DJO Global as a clinical support specialist. I've been using Muscle Stim for 15 years. I was introduced to it as a skeptic many years ago, being a typical physio. Is there any evidence to support this? Looked into it and found there was over 3,000 pieces of clinical data at the time supporting the effective use of Muscle Stim. I felt a bit sheepish about not using it, especially as I was working with professional elite athletes. I started to incorporate it into my management as an adjunct, and that's the point I'm going to labour through this talk. And I've never looked back, and I want to share my experiences with you. So what is Muscle Stim? Quite simply, guys, it's an artificial way of reproducing an action potential. In order to do that, we need an impulse. And the impulse that Compex use is 98% mimics that sent from the brain. In fact, your muscle doesn't know or indeed care whether the impulse is coming from the brain or machine, it's just going to react to it. And by changing the frequency, changing the number of impulses per second we put into the tissue, we can have different physiological effects. I'm sure most of the therapists amongst you there have known or have used TENS, transcutaneous electro-neuromuscular stimulation. It is a form of muscle stim, and you will find it on your Compex units. And it's a way to influence pain perception. And we can look at other ways that we can influence pain perception as well. So we can also get a muscle to turn on and off quickly. We refer to that as a twitch. Now that has physiological benefits. We can increase blood flow to an area. Why is that important? You think immediately post-injury, once a bleed has finished, we need then to encourage fresh capillary beds to come into the area. They're going to bring in the chemical mediators to initiate the healing process. Also, those new capillary beds are responsible for laying down granulation tissue, so this is really good for wound healing.